Getting ready to start planting in the front yard to plant native plants. I'll take you on a tour of the front yard and you can see what's going to go on here. First of all, let me just scan the whole yard for you. This is the east and south side. And this is where the pine tree used to be. And it's opened up for our neighbor's property. The tree, it was time for the tree to remove. It was almost 50 years old, and it was really dominating, as you can see from where all the bare soil is. It was dominating that side significantly, and time to go. So if you can see down the middle here, you can see the hose on the left and the hose on the right, and down the middle is grass, and for now that grass will stay. On the right here, if I go further down, these are Solomon's seal, and they establish themselves naturally, and we're going to take advantage of that and leave them and enhance them with companion plants. Behind it is bare soil, and we'll see what grows there. So I'm just going to walk down the side here. And we'll stand on this far corner, and you can see what's getting another look as to what we need to be doing here. So this part is Solomon's seal. Probably on the right here will be some 3-flowered avens. You can now start to see the east boundary on this side where the hose is. And what I'm going to do after I finish this video, and then I'm going to cut the sod where the hose currently lies, and with a lawn edger, and that then the lawn on the inside of this will be removed. And that's actually how you do make a bed, is you use a garden hose, because a garden hose produces nice soft curves, and you can keep jiggling it until you get it in the right location, and that's when you cut it. That's when you then use your lawn edger to cut it. Let's go down to the bottom now. This bed is going to be a little bit out in the open for now, and my original idea was to incorporate it into the native plants, but it's just too much work at this time, because I'd have to remove all this grass from the stake just in front of us up to where the hose is, and then over to where this bed is. So for this coming year it's going to stay exactly where it is, though we'll put some more native plants into it. You can now see where the central area is that I'm going to leave with grass. And then over here, underneath the birch tree, this will be Carl Forster grass, which goes up to about 6 feet tall, is greeny pinkish in the early summer, and then turns straw colored once we get into August. And that will be underplanted with other native grasses and some seasonal plants. The seasonal plants will probably match both on the right side underneath the underneath the birch tree, and also we'll have comparable seasonal plants under the other birch tree. Where the stake is on the right in front of the, or where the pole is in the ground, that's going to be a nannyberry. And in front of us, all this grass will remain for this year. The stakes were put out there just to give me a perspective on where all the plants are in the property, and it just helped with gridding things out. Those are 2 meter distances. So then this will all be grass. Then we come up the grass. This is Karl Forster on the right. And the background on this side is prairie dropseed. Then we come up the central part here. So let's take a look at this area now. Right here is going to be Karl Forster. And then we move into, these are existing irises which will stay. Behind that we have another pole, and this is where the second nannyberry is going to grow. That's really the delimiting line between, as you'll see beyond it, slightly lower there, and you can see the drainage for the downspout from the roof. So that will get wet during rain, and so on that side will be plants that are more moisture loving, including wild irises, big blue stems. Against the house we'll have 1, possibly 2 Joe Pye weeds. And then the front part of this, down the hose here and around, is still to be determined, but you can see the grass that has to be removed, and that will be fairly easy with an edger to remove that. And then once it's removed, I'm going to water this thing and watch what weeds grow, pop out the weeds, and we probably have another 3-4 weeks before we actually plant any plugs in here. So that makes us into early June, mid-June, which will be just about fine. So let me just come up around to the top here, all the way back, and then we'll just scan once more. So if we go around the yard, Joe Pye weed, big blue stems, wild irises, little blue stems, some existing irises. There may be some daylilies in there, I'm not sure. Come around here to Engelmann, Karl Forster grass, and prairie dropseed grass, then prairie dropseed grass. Both sides will probably have blazing morning star in it, and then over to the Solomon seal. This part for now remains the same, which are these roses. Those should be pruned very, very shortly. And I'm not sure what we're going to do. Mulch is better than weeds, but it's time to underplant that so you don't even see the mulch. Still to come. So that's all for now. My next task will be to lay out to cut the sod, and you can see particularly down the right side here, everything to the right of the hose will be removed. What weeds are there? Everything to the left is grass, and the grass will stay for at least 1 more year. And the next video will see the result of that.